The difference between a human being and all the other animals of the world is that animals, while man must learn the art of living. Learning has taken man faster and farther than limited animal instinct. In spite of his failings, knowledge has made him lord of the earth, master of the sea, and king of the air. All your life you are learning something, sometimes through bitter experience, sometimes through stored-up wisdom of the past. It's never too late to learn, and of course, it's never too soon to begin. At school, you learn things you need that don't come by instinct, like the controlled use of hand and eye, and accuracy. You learn the basic comforts of life, what the world is made of, and the excitement of artistic creation. One day, these children will close their books for the last time. They'll be grown up. Where do they go from here when their school days are over and done with? It's said that education is the whetting of the appetite for life. Certainly, the appetite for life grows by what it feeds on. Of course, there are some people who think they learnt everything they need for life at school, and who don't put their education to the best possible use. But most people realize that school days gave them the ability to learn more. Bill Blair was able to learn a skilled trade, thanks to his education. And besides that, he found some things they taught at school especially interesting. As a boy, he liked to hear about other countries and the way people lived there. Now, the real world is before him. These things become real-life problems for Bill and his mates. Yet, like us all, he often wishes he knew more about things. Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, no matter what your trade or occupation. Rich man or poor man, most of us learnt the skill we need for our daily work after we left school. But school gave many of us a taste for other things as well. It gave Brian Cooper an interest that's grown up with him, an interest in addition to his skilled business of looking after other people's money. After banking hours, Brian finds relaxation in trying to keep abreast of his other interest. He too would like to know more about the world he lives in. Mrs. Mostyn's life has been like that of many other women since she left school. Bringing up a family and seeing it out into the world is no mean achievement. Yet, Mrs. Mostyn's life has brought its own reward. From now on, she's free to learn all those things she somehow could never get around to before. Everywhere in Tasmania, people are wanting to add to what life can give them by understanding life better. There is an urge to know more beyond their own national landscapes. This leads some to want to learn a foreign language, so that they can speak to people of other nations themselves. Some people are finding out that they can't say things in their own language as well as they should. There is an urge among others to understand what lies behind the varied behavior of children, and many want to know more about the long-range effects of adult behavior towards children. There's a growing urge to seek wisdom in the world's books, old and new, and a fresh vision of life in the works of the painters, past and present. Many are feeling that they miss a lot through not knowing more about music, while others are finding that they have to learn fast to keep up with their children in this modern age. deepest urge of all is the use of the hand and brain in the useful arts, which gives a sense of satisfaction and achievement, which is all too seldom found in the daily round of most of us. Somewhere, then, it should be made possible for all these people to find the help and information they need to widen their knowledge and give them the grip on life that they're seeking. A new program of city classes is announced by the Adult Education Board. It includes courses on basic English expression, foreign languages, world affairs, art, to help those who want to help themselves. There's the State Library Service of Tasmania, which Brian Cooper is using. And to guide people further, the government has set up planned adult education to give them just the kind of information they're looking for. People who want to follow their special interests are constantly inquiring at the regional offices of adult education established at Hobart, Launceston and Devonport. Here, they're always sure of finding some kind of answer to their problem. It may be that all they need is to be shown where to look for the knowledge they seek, or it may be that what they need is a course of lessons about the thing that interests them. Nearly all of these classes are held in the evenings so that people can attend them. The regional officer for Hobart has promised to show a film for the gardening club, but he must first visit some of his classes around the city. These are widely scattered because adult education is still something new. It is still a college for the people without a college building of its own. It's a tribute to the people's keenness that they will meet in odd rooms that are often inconvenient to get at and uncomfortable too. What makes these people turn out on cold nights to learn a foreign language? Let's ask them.
I'm saving up for a trip to Europe, and I think you really can't understand the life of people unless you can speak to them yourself.
I want to read some of the great books of the world in their original language. They must lose something when they are translated.
My work as a social worker is very much helped by being able to talk to migrants without an interpreter.
In other classes, students are studying a wide range of interesting subjects. There is floral decoration and flower arrangement, a colourful and graceful art. Bill Blair is studying public speaking. He has realised the need of learning how to say well what he feels important for the welfare of his workmates and his fellow citizens. Brian Cooper felt that his picture of the world in which he lived was incomplete unless he knew more about science. The Adult Education Board encourages groups to form their own committees and to manage their affairs in the spirit of self-reliance and true democracy. The Hobart Gardening Club began with a group of people attending lectures on home gardening. It's now an independent society needing only occasional help from the board. Adult education aims for a wide range of evening classes in all large towns. This is one of the Launceston classes where the fascinating science of man is being studied. But country folk are not forgotten. Their needs are perhaps more pressing than the townspeople's. Tasmania was divided into 4 regions for adult education service in town and country. It's a lot of territory for 4 men to attend to, but regional officers meet the director in conference as often as they can to discuss education needs in every part of the state and to see that all regions work together as a team. Spreading adult education and making it effective is quite a task. It's the small country places which respond especially to adult education. They are far from the distractions and amusements of the towns, and they can give time and thought to any amenities which are offered them. The regional officer's car has become a familiar sight on country roads, and he himself a welcome friend wherever he goes in his region, because he brings new interests to country life. Bad weather does not stop him. Every night of the week, his people are expecting him somewhere. This group meets in the area school of a small Tasmanian town to discuss topics of world importance. The atmosphere is friendly and informal. There is no teacher, but each contributes what he knows to the discussion, and the regional officer joins in when he visits them, often bringing additional information that helps them form sound opinions based on accurate knowledge. People in all country districts welcome adult education. In the informal atmosphere of dressmaking classes, women gain self-confidence as well as a sense of achievement, and it helps with the family budget. In another small Tasmanian town, these people are learning how to navigate aircraft. They have a very practical reason for doing this. They fly them. They too gain a sense of achievement and self-confidence. They know where they're going, these young people of the modern age. No man has joined a dressmaking class yet, but a surprising number of women have asked for carpentry. These ladies say that woodwork gives them as much pleasure as stitching, and it's just as practical. Music was rated by the ancient Greeks as deserving half the time given to education, although in our day we cannot devote so large a proportion to it. Adult education knows the value of music in cultural life and helps to support numerous choirs. Adult education supports the only amateur orchestra in the state. There's a vital interest in the theatre. Most of the drama groups in Tasmania started with a few people reading parts in a play. This leads, of course, to putting it on the stage. Scenery has to be built, if not a stage as well. A local expert volunteers to fix the lights. Adult education sends down a professional producer to polish up the acting and somebody else to attend to the makeup and costumes. In fact, a whole team of experts pool their knowledge. Training in drama gives self-confidence and poise at every rehearsal. The play's the thing, no doubt. Yet adult education sees behind it something just as important, the team spirit. And these groups grow into self-supporting dramatic societies with their own committees and rules, thus fulfilling adult education's belief that its job is to help people help themselves. Other groups are also doing something for themselves. They're planning community centres for their townships where all can meet for recreation and study. Their first thought is a hall where they can hold dances, concerts, produce drama and see films. Their next need is the community centre with a nearby child clinic to safeguard the health of the children. Craft and hobby rooms where people can follow special interests, and of course a sports pavilion. In planning these things, the Adult Education Board brings to the people the expert advice of town planners and health authorities. This growing thirst for knowledge is the greatest tribute ever paid to our educational system. The more and better education in our schools, the more children want to know when they grow up. This is good. It makes for wiser, better citizens with sound opinions that they've thought out for themselves. Knowledge brings real values and results in a demand for higher standards. It brings the desire and ability to work in harmony with others. It makes for a people worthy of the democracy which we believe is the best way of life for self-respecting human beings. And that way of life will not be preserved except by a well-informed community. Like every other democratic nation in the world today, we need to defend our democracy with the sword of knowledge, for vast armaments alone will not do it. We need planned adult education to help us to a level of effective citizenship, for few of us can honestly say that we know all we need to know to be the intelligent, worthwhile people we should be to deserve the freedoms which we have so far preserved in our way of life. Indeed, human beings never stop learning.